Hello and welcome to This Week with Ajaz Haque. It is Sunday, January the 31st, 2021. Welcome to my vlog. And the subjects we'll cover today is President Biden suspends arms sales to Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Number two, the farmers' revolt in India is getting to serious proportions. The broadsheet scandal in Pakistan is getting ever serious, and an inquiry commission has now been set up. The Unnatural Alliance of Pakistan Democratic Movement, PDM, of 11 parties seems to be dying a natural death. And the government has moved constitutional amendments for the method of voting for the Senate, and also for dual nationals to participate in the elections. Supreme Court exonerates the alleged kidnappers of Daniel Pearl, and that has caused a serious embarrassment to the federal government. And finally, we'll have the financial markets roundup. Now, as far as President Biden's suspension of arms sales to Saudi Arabia and UAE is concerned, this does not mean that it's a permanent suspension or permanent cancellation. It is going to be reviewed, and the government may decide to sell some of the arms and not the others. And basically it's F-35s for UAE, and then arms for Saudi Arabia, which is being used in Yemen and elsewhere, which has caused death and mayhem. Italy has permanently banned all arms sales to Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates because of the Yemen war. Unfortunately, US was involved in the Yemen war for too long, and it has caused a lot of death and destruction and made many children orphan. And only belatedly, US has decided to back off from the Yemen war, which had they done so from the beginning and restrained Saudi Arabia, things may not have been that bad. Iran also has a role in it, as they are supporting the rebels in Yemen. So it's time for Saudi Arabia and Iran to sit down and have a dialogue and come to a sensible conclusion. Now, FBI has issued a dire warning of an attack by Trump supporters who were planning to attack the inauguration, but the security was so high, they backed off. So there are feelings that perhaps they may attack some organ of government or the other. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But many of these Trump supporters carry arms. They're evangelical Christians, anti-black, and they carry Confederate flags, the side that was defeated in the Civil War. Now, the broadsheet scandal in Pakistan, this is a huge affair. Pakistan government had engaged, as I reported in my previous vlog, had engaged this company and then ended up paying $28 million penalty for canceling the contract, and it may still have to pay a great deal more. A retired judge of the Supreme Court has been appointed as a commissioner of inquiry, Justice Sheikh Azman Said, and he will have all the resources he needs from various government departments, and he has to submit a report to the cabinet within 45 days. It may unearth a great deal of money stashed away by the Pakistanis overseas, especially the politicians, the Sharifs and Zardaris. So as a result, the Sharif family is hitting very hard, trying to malign the honorable retired judge who has impeccable reputation. And well, obviously, these two political families, which have controlled the destiny of Pakistan for the last 30 years off and on, fear that the money that they've stashed away may be uncovered, and they may be, it may be a serious embarrassment for them, and they may lose some of that money. Let's hope that is the case. In terms of the Unnatural Alliance of Pakistan Democratic Movement, led by Fazlur Rahman, and main parties are Pakistan People's Party and Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. It fell apart some time ago, and it's now seemed to be dying unnatural death. They had vowed never to allow the Senate elections. They had vowed to resign. They had made so many commitments. They had vowed to remove Imran Khan's government by December 15. All of that came to a knot, and now they're fighting with each other, and the Unnatural Alliance seems to be dying a natural death. The government has moved the constitutional amendment in the National Assembly so that the method of electing senators is no longer a secret ballot but an open ballot. But chances of it passing are rare because it requires 2/3 majority, and none of the main opposition parties are planning to support it. They've also moved an amendment to the Constitution for the dual nationals, Pakistanis who live abroad, to contest the elections. So far, they are forbidden to contest the elections. And the idea is that if they win the election, they can then decide if they want to leave their other nationality and just keep their Pakistani nationality before taking oath. Again, without 2/3 majority, it's not likely to pass the Senate. Now, a very serious situation has arisen with the Supreme Court verdict, which upheld the Sindh High Court verdict of letting go Sheikh Umar Saeed and his accomplices who had allegedly kidnapped Daniel Pearl, who was gruesomely murdered later. It seems that the Sindh prosecutors botched the job in the High Court because in the lower court they were given death penalty. But in the Sindh High Court, they were let off scot-free. And with the Supreme Court can only review the errors made by the Sindh High Court judgment. New evidence cannot be introduced. So unfortunately, Supreme Court probably had no choice, but this has become very serious. Washington has protested. And now the federal government has also joined in the review petition, which I feel they should have joined from the beginning. And hopefully there will be redressal of this grievance, because if they are guilty, then they should be punished. But if they're not guilty, then of course they should be let go. Now finally, roundup of the financial markets. All the markets were down this week, except for the Pakistan Stock Exchange, which was up 1.1%. And in the month of January, Pakistan Stock Exchange ranked second in the region and 7th best in the world, gaining 6% in the month of January. The volume also was substantial, and on some days it was as high as $300 million. The S&P 500 was down 3.3%, NASDAQ was down 3.6%, Shanghai was level, Mumbai Stock Exchange was down 5.3%, and so basically Pakistan Stock Exchange is the one that stands out. So this is all for the week. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next weekend. Thank you and goodbye, and please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you and much obliged.